In this video, we're going to look into a 4-step method to get rid of chronic disease. And let's get started right away. Before we experience symptoms, we go through 4 stages. And the first stage is the wrong mindset. So this means that when we feel a sense of injustice, or we feel that things have not gone according to um, things have not been fair with us, or we feel that we haven't been fair, or we have some objection to the universe. We just feel that the universe isn't being run according to fair principles, and we can do a much better job out of it if we had a chance. So when you feel like that, we start interacting very wrongly and with ego. We start not respecting what is. We start disrespecting the forces of nature, and we think that nature is an inanimate thing with no mind, no conscience, and we are the only beings on the planet with a conscience. And just because we don't understand something, it doesn't fit into our brain, we think it's wrong. So going around calling everybody wrong disempowers us, and then we interact wrongly to gain our power back. And that stress creates a metabolic disturbance inside, where your blood pressure could go up, and your immune system could go low, your stomach acid can fall, which finally ends up in a metabolic disruption. So let's look at these stages one by one. All right. The stage 1 is the wrong mindset. So whenever we have a problem, we want to empower ourselves, because we lose power when we have a problem. Because we expect ourselves never to have problems. We think that uh, if nature was fair, it would be always fair to us, and that there would be absolutely no um, difficulties, and everything is going to be easy breezy. That's what we think. That's what we like to think. But that when we find that that's not true, and problems are a part of life, and we can't accept it, and we want to empower ourselves in some way. You can empower yourself with a fight. You can go disagree with people, put them down or something, and then you'll feel powerful even though you achieved nothing. And then you can go and make a relief strategy like drinking, smoking. It just relieves your stress, and then you feel good. Taking drugs, or eating sweet stuff and eating junk food, and so on and so forth. There are many ways to get relief. And then you can just postpone things, you can just delay it, you can just beat around the bush and never get to the point, never ask for what you want, never say no to someone, just keep postponing it. So any strategy like this, instead of solving the problem, if you have any of these, anything other than solving the problem, is a wrong mindset. So when a problem comes and you don't solve it, that's a wrong mindset. Let's understand that. This leads to disease. Why? Because you interact wrongly. You just feel like you solved the problem. You just feel like you won it over. It's no longer there. But it's harmful long term, because the problem hasn't gone away. And sometimes your conscience is saying that something is wrong, but you just like denied it, and then you've suppressed your conscience. And so there's no way for you to be accountable to yourself. It's just been gone. And then you just look with confirmation bias. You try to confirm your belief that everything is okay, and you find them. It's not difficult to find your belief that everything is okay, right? But you can ask, is this good for me or bad for me? Is going vegan good for me or bad for me? And you'll find it. Whatever you want to believe, you'll find that kind of support anywhere, wherever you want. That's called confirmation bias. And then you can rationalize it, and you can say, this is happening because people are all useless, and you can blame everybody and rationalize the whole thing. And then you can normalize it, and you say, this is normal, there's nothing to change here. So these kind of wrong interactions create a very powerful effect on our physiology, and it leads to metabolic imbalance. So it starts with very mild discomfort, which is easy to ignore. You start putting on weight, or you don't sleep too well, or you start losing hair, or something which is not such a big deal. You get hives, you have bad breath, and you're okay with that. You have a little tooth pain. It's normal, right? So you can ignore, bear, or deny the symptoms and suppress the symptoms. And then there's stage 4, where there's metabolic disruption, where the level of discomfort in your body starts becoming higher, but still it's normalized by society. So you just downgrade your activities. Earlier, you used to be able to go for a 5 kilometers jog, you just stop doing that. And then everything is fine. And then you blame others, you continue to blame others, you feel high, you feel good, you feel better than them. And then you feel sorry for yourself and you feel very smooth and you just continue. You still haven't got the real pain of disease. But what happens next is that the symptoms start manifesting and you can't ignore it anymore. Then you go and look for a doctor, but then not everyone is a good doctor. So wrong treatments will happen and the body systems will start failing. So major systems in the body, like the liver, the detoxification system, or the lymphatic system, or nervous system, or the digestive system, or the cardiovascular system, they all start failing, or the skeletal system, something fails. And then finally, that failed thing with no long treatment will lead to death. So this is how people die. People start dying with a wrong mindset. Wrong mindset is something to be corrected. But yoga, says Patanjali, stops the wrong mindset. So it just stops wrong modifications of the mind. Okay, that's what the Yoga Sutra says. And if you can reverse the mindset and make the right mindset, then the stages 2 to 7, where you kept on falling and sliding down the slippery slope of disease, you can return to health. I have tried this method with over 1,000 patients, and it can be achieved in just 4 steps. If you want to learn these 4 methods that I've used to cure more than 1,000 people of their serious chronic diseases, by them doing a 10-minute practice, which is just a 4-step practice, then I encourage you to go and purchase the paid version of this lesson. All right. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you could identify with some of these stages, and I hope you will purchase the paid lesson and cure yourself entirely of your problem. And of course, you will have my support through all of it. And I'm really happy that you watched the video so far. Thank you very much.